Ever wonder what secrets lurk beneath the waves? In this video we are uncovering the most captivating and mysterious tales of people who ventured into the ocean and were never seen again. From the vanished crew of the SS Marine Sulphur Queen, a ship that disappeared without a trace, to the chilling last moments of Cameron Robbins caught on camera. These stories blur the lines between reality and the inexplicable. Prepare to dive deep into the haunting disappearances that have left experts baffled and the world asking, what really happened out there on the open sea? Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have Donald Crowhurst. Donald Crowhurst was a British businessman who, in 1968, set his sights on the Sunday Times Golden Globe race, a daring, non-stop solo sail around the world. With a failing business and reputation to salvage, he poured everything into a trimaran he named the Teignmouth Electron, despite it being ill-prepared for such a monumental journey. Shortly after setting sail, he encountered relentless equipment failures and the harsh reality that his vessel couldn't withstand the unforgiving oceans. Instead of turning back, Crowhurst devised a plan. He began falsifying his navigational logs to appear as though he was making record-breaking progress. For months, he drifted in the Atlantic, crafting an elaborate deception while wrestling with solitude and mounting pressure. His diary entries grew increasingly erratic, revealing a mind teetering on the edge. In July 1969, his boat was discovered adrift and empty, with only his haunting writings left behind. Was it the crushing weight of his own lies, or the vast emptiness of the sea that led to his disappearance? The mystery of Donald Crowhurst remains one of the most haunting maritime mysteries, blending ambition, desperation, and the endless depths of the human psyche. In our number 9 spot today, we have the Cheeki Rafiki yacht crew. Sounds like it's gonna be a good fun time, but it is not. In May 2014, the Cheeki Rafiki, a 40-foot British yacht, was slicing through the vast Atlantic Ocean, homeward bound after a thrilling regatta in Antigua. On board were 4 experienced sailors: Andrew Bridge, James Mayle, Steve Warren, and Paul Goslin. They were the kind of seafarers who felt more at ease with the sway of the sea than the steady ground. But somewhere beneath the endless sky and above the inscrutable depths, fate took a mysterious turn. The yacht capsized in turbulent waters, but when rescue teams found her days later, she was eerily deserted. The life raft was gone, hinting that the crew might have launched a desperate bid for survival. Despite an exhaustive search covering over 17,000 square miles, not a single trace of the men was ever found. What became of them in that remote stretch of the ocean? Did they cling to hope aboard a tiny raft adrift in the expanse? The truth is, we may never really know for sure. In our number 8 spot today, we have David Nash. David was a seasoned British sailor setting sail solo from the vibrant shores of the Caribbean. He aimed to cross the Atlantic back to the UK, a journey he'd made countless times. But when his yacht was discovered drifting off the coast of Devon, sails fluttering aimlessly and no one at the helm, a mystery unfolded that has baffled even the saltiest of seafarers. The boat was in pristine condition, supplies untouched, and his logbook ended abruptly without hinting at any trouble. No distress signals were ever received. Did he succumb to the depths by accident, or was there something more mysterious at play? Some whisper of the Bermuda Triangle's reach, others speculate about pirates or uncharted phenomena. Despite extensive searches across miles of unforgiving ocean, David Nash was never found. In our number 7 spot today, we have the SS Faro. The SS Faro was a sturdy American cargo ship, a steel giant trusted to brave the seas between Florida and Puerto Rico. In late September 2015, she embarked on what should have been a routine voyage, carrying a crew of 33 experienced sailors and a cargo hold full of cars and retail goods. But as the ship steamed into open waters, Hurricane Joaquin was rapidly escalating from a tropical storm into a Category 4 monster. Despite warnings and the storm's menacing trajectory, Captain Michael Davidson chose to maintain course, believing they could outrun or navigate around the worst of it. As the hours passed, the seas grew grew tumultuous and the howling winds became deafening. Communication from El Faro ceased abruptly, sparking frantic concern. Search efforts combed the vast ocean expanse, finding only scattered debris, a damaged lifeboat, and a solitary survival suit, haunting remnants of the ship's struggle against nature's wrath. It wasn't until weeks later that the wreck was discovered 15,000 feet beneath the waves near the Bahamas, resting silently on the ocean floor. The bodies of the crew were never recovered, leaving behind grieving families and a haunting question: what conversations and decisions took place on the bridge as the storm closed in? The tragic tale of the El Faro serves as a somber testament to the sea's unforgiving power and the perils that even the most seasoned mariners face when nature unleashes her fury. In our number 6 spot today, we have Michael Paine. Michael Paine was a celebrated American sailor and author, a man whose soul was intertwined with the sea's ebb and flow. In the summer of 2005, he embarked on a solo voyage from the rugged coastline of California to the tropical shores of Hawaii, a journey he'd romanticized in his best-selling novels. Friends waved him off, expecting to see him again in a few weeks, brimming with new stories of adventure. But as the weeks turned into months, concern turned to alarm. His sailboat was eventually found adrift near the Hawaiian Islands, sails intact and supplies sufficient, yet there was no sign of Paine himself. The cabin was orderly, his logbook ended abruptly without hinting at trouble, and a fresh cup of coffee sat cold on the table. No distress signals were sent out, and no evidence pointed at foul play. Theories spiraled. Did he fall overboard in a freak accident? Some whispered about ghost ships and portals to other dimensions, tales as fantastical as the stories Paine penned. His disappearance remains a haunting mystery, a chapter that even he couldn't have written better, a man who ventured into the ocean's embrace and became one with its mysteries. In our number 5 spot today, we have George Allen Smith IV. George was a 26-year-old newlywed embarking on what should have been the voyage of a lifetime, a honeymoon cruise aboard the luxurious brilliance of the seas, sailing through the enchanting Mediterranean. One balmy evening in July 2005, after an indulgent night of celebration at the ship's bar, George parted ways with friends and headed back toward his cabin. By morning, he had vanished without a trace. Crew members made a chilling discovery: blood stains on a lifeboat canopy beneath his balcony, suggesting he may have gone overboard under mysterious circumstances. Fellow passengers reported hearing loud noises and a possible altercation coming from his room that night, igniting suspicions of foul play. Despite investigations spanning international waters and involving multiple agencies, the case remains unsolved. Was it a tragic accident, or did something more sinister unfold beneath the cloak of night? In our number 4 spot today, we have Merrian Carver. Merrian Carver was a 40-year-old woman who boarded the Celebrity Cruises ship Mercury for an Alaskan voyage in August 2004. Traveling alone, she seemed to vanish into the vastness of the ocean without anyone noticing. Or so it appeared. For 5 days, her cabin steward observed that her room remained untouched, the bed unslept in, the towels unused. When he reported this to his supervisor, he was told to, quote, "just do your job and forget it." No one raised an alarm, and the ship continued its journey as if she had never been there. It wasn't until her family, concerned by her silence, began searching that they discovered she had ever been on the cruise. By then, weeks had passed, and any clues to her whereabouts were as elusive as footprints on water. The cruise line's astonishing delay in reporting her disappearance sparked outrage and highlighted serious flaws in how such incidents are handled at sea. What became of Merrian during those lonely nights on the open ocean? Was there something more sinister lurking behind the polished veneer of the luxury liner? Her unexplained disappearance remains a haunting mystery, a stark reminder of how easily someone can slip slip between the cracks. In our number 3 spot today, we have Daniel Küblböck. Daniel was a German singer and actor who shot to fame on the talent show Deutschland sucht den Superstar, captivating audiences with his unique style and charisma. In September 2018, he boarded the cruise ship Ada Luna for a voyage from Hamburg to New York, perhaps seeking inspiration or a respite from the spotlight. Fellow passengers later recounted that Daniel seemed distressed, his usual exuberance dimmed by an unspoken weight. In the early hours of a crisp morning, witnesses reported a figure going over the rail from the 5th deck into the frigid embrace of the Atlantic Ocean. Panic ensued as alarms blared and the ship's crew initiated a frantic search. The vastness of the sea, however, offered little hope. Despite exhaustive efforts by rescue teams scouring the waters, no trace of Daniel was ever found. Was it a deliberate act born of inner turmoil, or could there be another layer to this tragic tale? His disappearance left a nation in shock and mourning, sparking endless speculation and a somber reminder of how the ocean's depths can silently claim even the brightest stars among us. In our number 2 spot today, we have Cameron Robbins. Cameron was an 18-year-old bursting with the exhilaration of recent graduation, ready to seize the world with his whole life ahead of him. In May 2023, he and his friends set off to the Bahamas for a celebratory trip, a sun-soaked adventure to mark the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. On the evening of May 24th, they boarded Blackbeard's Revenge, a cruise promising a night of excitement and unforgettable moments. Amid the laughter and revelry, a dare sparked that would change everything. Cameron was challenged to leap into the warm, dark waters surrounding the boat. Embracing the thrill, he jumped overboard, disappearing beneath the surface as his friends looked on in stunned silence. Footage from that night captures the eerie moment he vanished, and some viewers later claimed to spot a shadow in the water. Could it have been a shark lurking nearby? The area was indeed known for its shark-infested waters, adding a chilling layer to the unfolding mystery. Despite an intensive search by the US Coast Guard and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force covering thousands of square miles, no trace of Cameron was ever found. His friends and family remember him as funny, kind-hearted, and a fierce competitor on the baseball field. The haunting question remains, what really happened in the depths that night? Cameron's story is a poignant reminder of how quickly joy can turn to tragedy, leaving behind a legacy shrouded in unanswered questions and the relentless whispers of the sea. And finally, to end off this list today, in our number 1 spot, we have the Marine Sulphur Queen. Back in 1963, the SS Marine Sulphur Queen, a massive tanker originally designed during World War II, embarked on what would become one of maritime history's most baffling mysteries. Converted to carry molten sulfur, a volatile and challenging cargo, the ship set sail from Beaumont, Texas on February 2nd, loaded with over 15,000 tons of sulfur. With 39 crew members aboard, she steamed into the Gulf of Mexico, sending a routine radio message 2 days later as she neared the coast of Florida. That transmission would be the last anyone ever heard from her. By February 6th, silence had fallen and concern mounted. An exhaustive 19-day search by the Coast Guard scoured thousands of square miles, turning up only a few life preservers and some scattered debris. No trace of the ship or her crew was ever found. Investigations revealed that the Marine Sulphur Queen was plagued with structural issues and deemed unsafe, a ship that perhaps should have never left port. Was it a catastrophic failure, an unexpected encounter with the treacherous Bermuda Triangle, or something even more mysterious that led to her disappearance? Lengthy legal battles ensued between the ship's owners and the grieving families, but the ocean kept its secrets. The vanishing of the Marine Sulphur Queen remains a haunting reminder of the sea's unforgiving nature and the mysteries that lie beneath its waves. Alright guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out. I've been your host today, Libby Kozlowski, and I will see you again soon. Don't go in the ocean.